All right, let's get started.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Mike Hughes. Mike is from Penryn Oak Stables over in Penryn. I wonder why. And we've asked him here to try out a problem horse. Well, our problem horse was a problem before it even got here. And so Mike is going to be working with, who have we got?
I'll let the owner.
Sweetie?
Sweetie.
Sweetie, why
Sweet
don't you
pie.
tell us what Sweetie's problems are?
Well, when I got her, they didn't say anything about the trailer. I got her right into the trailer. But when I unloaded her, she just bolted backwards as fast as she could go as soon as I untied her. But loading her hadn't been a problem, but I could never get her back into the trailer when she unloaded that way because she got scared. And tying her actually to the trailer has been a problem. She does pull back, not often, but she does every once in a while pull back like that. And I know that can hurt her, so I just bridle her and saddle her without being tied.
Okay. And you want to tell us about our experiences in the past hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah, when
Okay.
I was going to come over here, and I thought, I've been working with her for the last couple of months, just easing her in there and making her, standing in there in the trailer with her and just having her back out calmly, which I've had some success in doing, but of course, come pressure time, me to come out of the trailer to lock the back door, she didn't want to have any part of it, and then bolted back out and then had the same trouble. And I worked with her for probably a good 45 minutes, going in, coming out, going in, coming out, backing, and working. And then I said, I'm beating She beat me up. So, and then he worked her also, worked her outside the trailer. And actually, it was kind of interesting because the finale was very interesting. He got her in and he had me shut one door, and he stood in there. He says, "Okay, shut the other door. Get him in there." I thought, well, how's he going to get out? I don't have an escape door. But he just actually closed the little gate, and then I opened up behind. That was interesting.
Okay. So we had to get the horse in the trailer in order to get the horse here. If we wouldn't gotten the horse in the trailer, we wouldn't be doing a clinic right now. So I never see the horse before or work with the horse before I do a clinic, but it was different today because I had to get the horse here. All right, so in order to get the horse here, I had to get the horse in the trailer so we could have a clinic. So at any rate, I'm Mike Hughes, and welcome to A Partner for Life. And before we start working this horse and dealing with her going in and out of the trailer calmly and staying in the trailer calmly, we've got to set some principles. Whenever I'm working with the horse, it doesn't matter if I'm trailer loading, I'm in an arena, a round pen, leading the horse from point A to point B, out on the trails, I don't see those areas as being those areas anymore. And I don't see the horse as being a horse, and I don't see myself as a trainer. I see those areas as a classroom. The horse is the student, and I'm the teacher. And that's what it comes down to. And how do you want your children taught in school? By the teacher. It should be the same way by whomever is working with your horse. And in school, the teacher's not allowed to go up and hit the student. They're not allowed to kick the student. They're not allowed to slap the student. They're not allowed to call the students bad names. If they did, there's going to be a lot of prices to pay. For one, the teacher is going to get fired from her job. She's not going to have a job anymore, whether it's a lady or a man. It really doesn't matter. They're not going to have a job anymore. Two, they're probably going to go to jail for child abuse. Three, they're probably going to have a lawsuit because the parents are going to have a whole lot to say about it. And four, that teacher won't be able to find another job as teaching ever again. And these horses have to be treated in the same manner. So whenever I'm working with a horse, I always see the area as a classroom, the horse is the student, and I'm the teacher. And when the teacher is teaching in school, she has to set up a lesson plan. The lesson plan is, let's say she's doing history, and she's going to take the whole entire book and break it up over a year. And she's going to take the year and break it down into months, the months down into days, the days into weeks, the weeks into hours, and hours into minutes. And she develops develops this really neat lesson plan for all her students. You know, whether she has 15 or 20 different students in her class, it really doesn't matter. She is setting up a lesson plan for every single student. And when we start working with our horses and teaching our horses, we got to do the same thing. We got to set up this neat little lesson plan so our horses are able to learn it. Now, when the teacher's teaching in school, all her students are able to learn what she's teaching. You know, every student has a different personality, different emotional level, different learning curve. You know, they're all different, but she sets up the same lesson plan. And some of the students need more steps in their teaching and others don't. Others go faster, some go slower. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the year, they all graduate from first grade and go up to second grade or whatever grade they're in. They always go to the next grade with a great teacher. So that's what we're going to do with this horse today. We're going to start up setting up a lesson plan for her to learn how to get inside the trailer and out of the trailer calmly, and how to stay in the trailer calmly. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling her. For sure they're never going to learn it. So the first thing I want this horse to learn is how to go forward on cue. And what I'm going to do, let me turn her around here. I'm going to start teaching her a forward cue. In the forward cue, I'm going to take the whip and I'm going to start tapping her on the hip right here. As soon as she starts going forward, I'm going to take the pressure off the horse. I'm going to quit tapping her. It's always the pressure that asks the horse to do the maneuver we want him to do. It's always the release that tells the horse that they got the right answer. So we're going to sit here, we're going to tap her. She's going to go forward. We're going to tell her she's a good girl, and she just did good. You could use this forward cue not only for trailer loading, but to get a horse in a wash track they don't want to go into, through a gate they don't want to go through, into a stall they don't want to go into. So it's a great cue to teach your horses. And we're just going to, we'll have her stop right here, tell her she's a good girl. We're going to tap her a little bit. Good. And if she goes forward, great. So tap. If she forward, great. Now, one thing I'm not going to do to this horse, and I don't do it, is I don't use pain, fear, scolding, or punishment while I'm teaching my horses. I won't do it. The only one exception is, if I think that horse is coming after me, and that horse is going to put me 6 feet underground, I will do whatever I have to do to get the horse off me. And I've had it happen a couple of times in the last 20 or so years, and one time I was teaching a horse how to give to the bit on the ground, and that horse opened her mouth and wrapped her mouth around my ribs, and I did whatever I had to do to get her off me. And I had a dressage whip in my hand, and I wailed on her hip until she let go. As soon as she let go, I dropped the dressage whip, went over and petted her, and told her, you know, she just made the worst mistake she could ever have made, and don't ever do it again. But I had to go and love on her, because if I wouldn't have, then she'd have been scared of me, and I don't want the horse ever being scared of anything I'm going to do to him. So I don't use pain, fear, scolding, or punishment while teaching horses, and I won't. You know, it's just like the horse is already scared of being inside the trailer. If I start causing this horse pain, she's just going to become more afraid of getting in the trailer. It's kind of like my first day at school when I was in, I think, first or second grade. My mom dropped me off at the school grounds, and I didn't know anybody there. And I was already shy and quiet as a child, and I was nervous and scared about being there anyways. Would it have done her any good to pull my pants down, whip my butt, and told me to get on the playground? No, because then I'd have been crying, scared, quiet, shy, and all those other things. So it wouldn't have done any good. It's not going to make anything or things go any faster. You know, it's just going to slow your time down. If the horse is already afraid of getting in the trailer and we start causing pain, it's not going to help the horse overcome his fear in the trailer anymore. You know, same thing with fear methods. People use fear methods on horses all the time. If she's already scared of the trailer and I start scaring her, she's going to become more scared of the trailer. She's going to go, I knew it, I was right. I had every right to become scared of the trailer. So we don't want to use fear or pain, or, you know, we don't want to scold them and start calling them stupid idiots or you jug-headed Arab or warm blood. You know, that's not going to do her any good. We start yelling at them, and we certainly can't be working together if I'm scolding her. You know, you can't be working as a team if you're punishing your horse. The two just don't go together. So in order to work with her, I can't use those methods unless I think she's going to put me 6 feet underground. Then, like I said, I'll do whatever I have to do to get her off me. So go forward, tap her on the hip, and she goes forward, great. And then go ahead and ask her to stop. And this cue maybe takes 15, 20 minutes for the horse to learn. It doesn't take very long. Go forward. Now, if the horse is already scared of the trailer from where she's at, then I'd start somewhere else. Maybe I'd go down to the other side of the arena and start somewhere where she's comfortable, somewhere where she's calm. You know, she's calm right here. She's doing okay. She's a little sweaty from earlier, so am I. But she's doing good, so she's not real nervous or scared of the trailer from here. Good girl. And go ahead and stop. Good girl. Now, one thing I don't do also is I hold the rope like this. I will never twist the rope up like this and hold it in my hand. If she was to take off or bolt, she'd take my hand with her. So I just kind of hold the rope just like this so it's not twisted anyway, and I just hold it together. I know I've made that mistake where I've curled the rope up and the horse decided to bolt, and it got my hands and my fingers caught in it, and you know, nothing bad happened, but it was certainly a good lesson learned. Good girl. So we'll ask her to go forward. Good girl, and ask her to stop. So this would be step one. You know, step one is just asking the horse to do something we know they can do. And since we're working on trailer loading, you know, I want to teach her a forward cue. You know, go forward. Good girl. And stop your feet. You know, we can also use this as a beginning exercise for horses that pull back.